Hey guys, this is Carter Cooper. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to give you a Denver Broncos NFL team evaluation and team grade, grading the team from head to toe, from quarterback to offensive line, from defensive line to the secondary, and from kicker and punter all the way down to the returnman and even the long snapper. But before this video does get started, I'd really appreciate if you hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And comment down below what team you want next. And yeah, this is the grading system right here. So if you want to pause the video and read it, you're welcome to. But yeah, let's get into this video. Starting off with the offense. And at quarterback, you have Teddy Bridgewater now. If they start Drew Lock, they're stupid. I'm obviously going Teddy Bridgewater here. Drew Lock will probably be in the sixes, by the way, just for the record. All right. And Teddy, at QB, has 7.7 out of 10. He's a bridge quarterback, but I feel like he's a Ryan Fitzpatrick, and that's what he's going to be for the next 5-6 years. Maybe another decade, who knows? You know. At RB1, you have Melvin Gordon. He's solid 8 out of 10. Not what he used to be, but he's still solid. And at RB2, you have Javonte Williams, who I'm a big fan of. He was great at UNC. He's a rookie this year. He had like 1,200 yards and 8 yards of carry last year in college, which is outstanding. Along with his duo, Michael Carter. So I'm really excited to see this. It's going to be fun to see this here. But then the receivers, Cortland Sutton gave him an 8.4 out of 10. He struggled with injuries last year, but he's been consistently great. He get those without the yards for you. If he's on the Broncos roster, because he's rumored to be traded to the Packers in a trade with Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers goes to the Broncos, he probably won't be here. In this case, Aaron Rodgers isn't on the Broncos because he isn't on there yet, or he will never be in his career. But yeah, he'll probably have 1,000 yards this year if he plays all year. And Jared Jeudy has that potential too. Like about 800 yards last year for his rookie year, which is solid. So gave him a 6.5 out of 7.5. He's a good number two receiver. Don't know if he's ever going to get to that number one status in his career, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does. Because he proved that he can be that in college, and I think there's potential for him to be that in the NFL. Then at receiver 3, you have Tim Patrick, 4.1 out of 5. My opinion, he's quite underrated. He also struggled with injuries. Same with Jerry Jeudy. All three of them struggled with injuries all year. He still had like 700 yards, 5 touchdowns. He's a really good player. I feel like he's underrated in this league. I've never seen anyone give any props to Tim Patrick through any video or about the Broncos or anything of that sort. Then at tight end, Noah Fant gave him a 7 out of 7.5. He's a strong tight end. He's the top 10 in the league, which is a big deal. There's not a whole bunch of tight ends that are used in the first place, or used well for that matter. But Noah Fant is used quite well by the Broncos, and he's a really solid tight end. Who you might see him get 1,000 yards this year if there's injuries to these receivers again. Then at O-line, I give him 11 out of 15. Garrett Bowles is quite solid. Who's really the anchor of the offensive line, who had a rebound year this year. It really pushes this offensive line up a lot. Lloyd Cushenberry is a fine center, but that's sort of the weak part of the team, I would say, or the offensive line. So yeah, I don't know. The inside offensive line's not as good. Dalton Reisner is good though. So yeah, it's hard to say. It's just the inside's a little more concerning. But yeah, the left guard, left tackle looking good. So yeah, can't be mad about that as a Broncos fan. Then on to this defense after a 56.8 out of 70 offense, a really solid offense that the Broncos have built. Onto this defense who is actually really good. Draymond Jones ain't great though. Doesn't have a whole ton of experience. But he ain't great. Can't give him that. can't give him that. Wish he was better, but he's not. What can you do? Shelby Harris though was really good. Sucks they had to cut Joel Casey, but saved on 12 mil, so I think it makes sense. But a 6.7 out of 8 is a decent score there. Nose tackle Mike Purcell isn't good. 2.8 out of 4. Yeah, he's just not a good player in my opinion. So that was an easy one for me. Then at middle linebacker, Alexander Johnson was quite decent this year. Same with Josie Jewell. Both players who weren't expected to start at the beginning of the year, but due to injuries, they're starting and they played quite well, better than I expected, better than really anyone expected probably. But they still aren't great. But they're better than you would hope for from the start of the season last year. Not so linebacker, you obviously have Von Miller and a weak side linebacker, Bradley Chubb. Probably one of the better outside linebacker duos in the league. Bradley Chubb just was really struggled through injuries in his career, but if he stays healthy, he is going to be really good. Von Miller's lost a little bit of juice, but he's still a really good outside linebacker. Don't get that mixed up. He is a good player still. Then the secondary is really where this team strives. Kyle Fuller, who they signed after the Bears had to cut a cap casualty. They got him 1 year, $9.5 million. Quite cheap there. So they got him. Ronald Darby took a big step last year with the football team. Looking good, 7 out of 8. 14 passes defended last year. He's looking quite solid. Then Kareem Jackson is a solid safety. Gave him 8.9 out of 10. He's always been that consistent guy who doesn't really known for his interception, but is known for making big tackles, and he rarely misses tackles. He's a great safety. One of the better ones in the league, definitely. Then Justin Simmons, the top 5 safety in the league. Can't think of many that are better. Maybe Minka. Justin Simmons and Minka Fitzpatrick are very close. In terms of skill level. Jamal used to be. He's not. I'm a Seahawks fan. He is garbage. I know he had 9.5 sacks. He's garbage. He's an outside linebacker, and we should put him in outside linebacker. Because we have Marquise. This is how this video's come to, or whatever. He's a really good player. 60.3 out of 70 defense. A really solid team. Overall offense, defense. But we still have the special teams here. Brandon McManus. Lost a little leg power, you could say, but he is still pretty solid. 2.8 out of 3.5. One of the better kickers in the league. Definitely around that 10th to 8th spot in that range. Sam Harden's also a solid punter there. Top 10 average in the league and at about a 47, so good there. Deontay Spencer at returner, kicker, and punter. He's not an outstanding kick returner, but he's quite solid. But he was a really good punt returner last year, above 10 yards per punt return, which is spectacular if you don't know. And he took one to the house. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see what Deontay Spencer does this year. One of the better return men in the league. So he got an overall of 5.1 out of 6. He's a really solid returner. Can't be too upset about that. That long snapper, we have Jacob Bobenmoyer. He's a solid long snapper, like every long snapper I've done, giving him a 1.7 out of 2, like everyone, because I just really don't know long snappers. I wish I knew more about them, but there's no stats for them. And I don't know basically any long snapper in the league besides my long snapper of the Seattle Seahawks. So, yeah, it's a little weird, but whatever. But the Broncos do have one of the better special teams in the league at 12.4 to 15. Probably ranks them top 5. At least top 8, though. Top quarter of the league. So an overall of 129.5. Yeah, I really hope people don't hate on me for this. But I think the Broncos are really good. And something that's really going to help them is their cornerback depth. Because they have Bryce Callahan and they have Patrick Surtain there to back up Ronald Darby and Kyle Fuller. So I'm really excited to see how this team plays. Their secondary is spectacular. I think Teddy's going to be decent. Melvin Gordon has a rebound from last year, only having 950 yards. Did split some carries with Philip Lindsay, though. If he plays like he played on the Chargers, the Broncos could possibly make a push for the division. But the Chiefs are at a 135, meaning that this is a special tip for the end. They won't win a single game against them in my predictions. Because what I do is if they're home, if it's a divisional matchup, they're going up by 5 points, which is it's only for the divisional. I haven't completely decided how I want to do it for regular games. I'm thinking 2 to 3, leaning more towards 3, just so you guys know. But yeah, this is what you get if you watch the end of the video. I really appreciate it if you do. If you did enjoy it, please hit that like button. I assume you did because you made it to the end of the video. Subscribe to my channel. Comment down below what team you want next, as always. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.